Stop scrolling. This number demands your attention. $205 million. That is absolutely bonkers, a number that makes even the most seasoned property gurus raise a perfectly sculpted eyebrow. And you've tuned into At Richest Billionaires' Homes, where we believe in one simple, unshakable philosophy. Tell, don't just show. And before we dive in, I want to take a moment to wish all of you a wonderful holiday season. To everyone who's been watching, liking, commenting, and supporting this channel throughout the year, thank you. Your loyalty has turned this little passion project into a global community of people who love dreaming big. I appreciate you more than you know. And truly, every view, every like, every share helps us keep creating this work, and it also allows us to give back and support people in need. So when you watch this channel, you're not just enjoying the content, you're helping us make a real difference. Welcome, truly welcome, to the most expensive property currently available on the whole of South Florida's sun-drenched, exclusive market. This isn't just Palm Beach, this is Palm Beach royalty. We're talking about 4 full, oceanfront acres, an unimaginable quantum of space in this famously tight market. Add to that a sprawling footprint of over 23,000 square feet, and a whisper of history that ties it back to the legendary, sometimes feuding, Gucci family. Now, that's what I call a legacy, a narrative hook that even Hollywood couldn't resist. But let's be brutally honest, shall we? When a price tag swells to $205 million, the purchase transitions entirely from mere home buying to investment strategy and the acquisition of social capital. This is where the aspirational meets the strategic. The buyer is not just acquiring concrete and coral stone, they are securing scarcity. They are investing in the most finite resource in Florida, a 4-acre buffer zone against the world, right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. Think of the emotional consistency this provides, the daily knowledge that you own an irreplaceable, globally recognized piece of paradise. The true value is anchored in the land, a fact that every billionaire understands implicitly. It's an asset designed not just to appreciate in value, but to appreciate in prestige with every passing year. It's the ultimate financial fortress, disguised beautifully as a tropical retreat. And that, dear viewer, is the only way to truly justify a number this colossal. 4 acres of coastal grandeur, the irreplaceable asset. Before we even step inside this magnificent coral-colored Mediterranean revival pile, we have to spend time appreciating the land. This is the investable asset. The beautiful 2005 house is secondary. The enduring, generational wealth here is tied up in these 4 oceanfront acres. In a place like Palm Beach, where parcels are tighter than a drum, owning this amount of private coastline is simply unheard of. It is the definition of irreplaceable geography. We must use our mental state language here, the sense of profound security that comes with this physical scale. The estate is a masterful orchestration of space, extending from the manicured, hedge-lined road frontage right down to the rolling dunes. It offers a level of seclusion that even other Palm Beach titans can only desire. Picture the immense scale needed to accommodate not 1, but 2 separate swimming pools. You know you've truly hit the big time when you have to decide which pool mood you're in, perhaps the sunnier North Pool for morning laps, and the more secluded South Pool for an afternoon cocktail. It's a ridiculous, luxurious problem to have, and one that highlights the sheer logistical power of a 4-acre footprint. The landscaping, the manicured gardens, are themselves a labor of artistic and horticultural love. They serve as a natural, verdant shield, ensuring your privacy remains as absolute as your wealth. But the true masterpiece, the crown jewel that renders the $205 million price tag intellectually palatable, is the access to the water. That private, boardwalk path over the vegetated dunes, leading you straight onto your very own, frankly stunning, stretch of sugar sand beach. This is where the magic happens. This is the vision the new owner is buying into: unparalleled privacy, unparalleled connection to the Atlantic. For the ultimate client, this isn't just about the ocean view. It's about the emotional consistency of a completely private beachfront experience, an amenity that simply cannot be replicated anywhere else on the island at this scale. This piece of land is a legacy asset, a physical vault for wealth that throws in the finest private beach access as an incomparable bonus. It is the ultimate flex, a silent testament to permanent success. Now, if you're like 90% of our viewers, you're currently enjoying this deep dive, but you haven't actually subscribed yet. Don't be a massive donut. At Richest Billionaires Homes, we don't just show you the big price tag. We deliver the exclusive analysis and strategy behind the world's most luxurious assets. If you're serious about tracking the global movements of ultra-wealth, or simply want to keep dreaming this big, do hit that subscribe button. That way, you ensure you never miss the next irreplaceable asset we decide to profile. Right, let's get back to this magnificent beast of a property, shall we? Mediterranean majesty, the house and the narrative. Right, let's get stuck into the gaff itself. The original house, once owned by Aldo Gucci, was razed. It's important to understand that distinction. What we have now is this stunning 2005 Mediterranean Revival mansion, a proper architectural ode to the original Palm Beach high society. It's a conscious, romantic nod to the design philosophies of legends like Addison Misner and Marion Sims Wyeth, the architects who defined the aesthetic of early 20th century Florida wealth. The use of coral-colored stone immediately places it within that tradition of grand, old-world luxury. You can really feel the intention here in the house's construction. Every single inch speaks of artisan craftsmanship. We must talk about the details that are impossible to cost engineer today. Look up at the ceilings. The intricate ceiling stenciling, the texture of the hand-plastered walls, it's a commitment to custom, bespoke artistry that would cost a king's ransom to commission today. This isn't mass-produced luxury. This is the product of skilled hands and an unlimited budget applied nearly 2 decades ago. Now, listen, the listing agent, being utterly candid with the Wall Street Journal, mentioned it could use a refreshing. Now, refreshing is the polite, luxury market word for the 2005 aesthetic is getting a bit long in the tooth, isn't it? But don't let that be a moment of hesitation. Think of the opportunity. At $205 million, the discerning buyer is not looking for a turnkey, beige box house. They are looking for the scale, the bones, and the footprint. The 23,000 square feet gives them the perfect canvas to impose their own vision, a stunning, modern coastal design that retains the majestic proportions of the Mediterranean Revival structure. This is not a teardown. It is an incredibly expensive, high-stakes renovation opportunity. The floor plan itself is a masterpiece of flow. It meticulously separates the public, grand reception rooms, designed for spectacular, high-society events, from the more intimate family spaces. This design intelligence ensures that the home can host hundreds of people without compromising the family's privacy and comfort in their personal quarters. The entire structure is unified by vast French doors, a brilliant architectural feature that dissolves the boundary between the opulent interiors and the expansive terraces, inviting the Florida sun and the sea breeze in. This home is a masterclass in volume, promising the next owner not just space, but a stage upon which to live a truly consequential life. The domestic ecosystem, the luxury of support. This property operates less like a simple home and more like a high-functioning domestic ecosystem, a sprawling compound built to support a global life of consequence. Across the estate, we count a total of 8 bedrooms and 11 full bathrooms, a testament to its capacity to host, secure, and cater to the new owner's every need. The main 6-bedroom, 6.5 bath house is, naturally, the command center, but the true luxury comes in the delineation of space. The 2-bed, 2.5 bath guest cottage is not just an afterthought. It is a beautifully appointed, private residence in its own right. This separation is paramount for the ultra-wealthy. It means your valued guests, or your essential domestic team, perhaps the private chef, the estate manager, or the security detail, can be accommodated with both dignity and absolute, necessary discretion. This provision for seamless, high-level support is a key pillar of the billionaire lifestyle. And, of course, the exterior amenities are designed for perpetual leisure and high-caliber entertaining. The poolside pavilion with its own kitchenette and bath ensures that the entire social footprint of the estate is self-sufficient. This eliminates the need for staff to ferry items back and forth from the main kitchen, ensuring that events, whether a casual family barbecue or a high-stakes fundraiser, are executed with flawless, elegant ease. Let's talk about the unique, tactile details. I love these deep porches with the rich, textured pecky cypress ceiling panels. It is a classic, desirable Palm Beach vernacular that speaks of timeless coastal luxury. This is the perfect spot for quiet contemplation, perhaps with a top-notch single malt, or for a discreet conversation, a space where you can retreat from the world while still enjoying the glorious ocean air. Then we move to the practical but essential logistics, the security of your assets. The estate boasts garaging for 6 cars. This is not just about parking, it's about protecting a collection, ensuring that the prized vehicles and, crucially, the owner's arrivals and departures are handled with total discretion and security. The entire estate is a carefully managed environment designed to minimize friction and maximize the owner's capacity to focus on their global affairs. This level of support ensures emotional consistency, a life free from minor logistical hassles, which, for a billionaire, is the highest form of luxury. Now, we're about to shift gears and delve into the fascinating, high-stakes world of global comparative pricing, how this $205 million property stacks up against Monaco and Malibu. But before we reveal that market analysis, let me just have a word. Many of you watch our videos week after week, and we absolutely love having you. But to truly become part of the Richest Billionaires Homes community, to get the notifications, and to vote on which mega mansion we feature next, you need to be a subscriber. Think of it as securing your VIP pass to the world's exclusive property club. Hit that button below. It's totally free, and it's the best way to support the complex research that goes into these features. Go on, join the family, and let's go talk big money, security, society, and the Trump factor. The purchase of this property is, by definition, an initiation into the highest tier of American society. Palm Beach isn't just a location. It's a safe haven for global capital and a hub for philanthropy, art, and influence. The social prestige attached to this address is immeasurable. We are mere moments from iconic landmarks and institutions, the Breakers, the Palm Beach Country Club, and the legendary Worth Avenue. This lifestyle necessitates the absolute best of everything. This home facilitates a life structured around discerning travel, demanding top-tier wealth management, and a preference for precision engineering in every aspect of life, from their private aircraft to their security systems. Owning a piece of real estate at this level is a statement that you are operating at the pinnacle of global business and social consequence. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the Mar-a-Lago down the road, the Trump factor. The mere presence of Donald Trump's estate undeniably raised Palm Beach's visibility globally, reinforcing its status as a symbol of exclusivity and political power. It put the area's real estate market on the front page of every international newspaper. For the global buyer, this enhances the investment potential because it ensures the address has instant, worldwide recognition. It's a subtle yet powerful factor that reinforces the area's geopolitical stability and status as a preferred destination for the world's most powerful individuals. The cultural and social prestige here is self-fulfilling. Your neighbors are leaders in finance, technology, and industry. The heritage of the Gucci family, while no longer architecturally relevant, provides an incredible narrative of old-world European glamour blending seamlessly with new-world American power. This property is an anchor in a community built on the bedrock of lasting, multi-generational wealth. The new owner is not just buying a house, they are purchasing a slot in this rarefied social orbit. And let's not forget the final, charming detail, the beachfront cabana with a rooftop terrace. This small, perfect structure is the ultimate expression of leisurely luxury. It's your own private viewing box for the Atlantic, a secluded space to host an intimate gathering or simply watch the sunrise in utter, magnificent solitude. It is these carefully curated experiences that justify the ultimate price tag. Global comparisons, legacy, and the emotional echo. $205 million. It's a chunky number. Let's anchor this price in the global luxury real estate ecosystem. This is where the price moves from a calculation to a philosophical question of value. When we look at comparable oceanfront estates, this Palm Beach masterpiece starts to make compelling financial sense. A comparable estate in Malibu could easily push $300 million, offering similar scale but often trading off the social pedigree and tax advantages of Florida. A fraction of the space in Monaco. You're looking at similar numbers for a high-rise flat, devoid of the privacy and sovereign scale this estate offers. Even in the prestige addresses of London's Billionaires Row or Dubai's Palm Jumeirah, you are simply not acquiring 4 contiguous, private, fully secure acres of oceanfront land. The price of land is exponential, and the value of scarcity is infinite. What this Palm Beach estate offers is scale, privacy, and sovereignty. You get the whole bloody thing: the 4 acres, the private beach, the physical space, and the incomparable security of the South Florida location. That's the true investment potential. It's not a liquid asset like a stock portfolio, but it's a legacy asset, a piece of finite, irreplaceable geography that will pass seamlessly through generations. This property demands a new level of conviction from its buyer. It's not just a purchase, it's a statement of permanent, unapologetic success, a monument to a life lived without compromise. Now, if this deep dive into the architecture, the investment strategy, and the glorious lifestyle of this $205 million giant has given you food for thought, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, and subscribe to @Richest Billionaires Homes. We promise to bring you the most expensive, most intriguing, and most beautiful homes on the planet every single week. Don't be shy. Join the family and let us continue to tell, not just show, the stories that define ultra-luxury. We started this journey asking if $205 million is justifiable. The answer, as the light catches the coral-colored stone and the waves crash on the private sand, is profoundly emotional. You are buying a dream. This home is a fortress of financial security, perfectly disguised as a spectacular, sun-drenched escape. The emotional echo of this property is undeniable. Imagine standing on that private rooftop cabana terrace, the world spread out before you, the vastness of the Atlantic mirroring the vastness of your own success. It is a feeling of completeness, of utter control. This is the mental state language we must embrace, the feeling of deep satisfaction, of knowing you have claimed the ultimate prize. This home is more than an address, it is a cultural and historical repository, a marker in the evolution of American wealth, from the 1920s resort town to the modern billionaire enclave. It carries the weight of history and the promise of a future defined by luxury and absolute privacy. Now, if you've stayed with us this long, you are clearly fascinated by the lifestyle, the architecture, and the sheer audacity of this price tag. Our next episode is featuring a $1 billion development in Dubai that makes this Palm Beach estate look like a garden shed. Don't risk missing that monumental piece of content. If you want to elevate your imagination and continue to see the world's most consequential real estate, click the subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. It's your final chance to make sure you get the inside track on the most expensive properties on Earth. Until next time, keep dreaming big. Brand statement and disclaimer. This video is produced by @Richest Billionaires Homes and is intended for entertainment and educational purposes within the luxury real estate niche. All audio, commentary, and informational content are original and created by our team through human research, writing, and editing. Select visual references may be sourced from publicly available materials and are used under fair use guidelines to support narrative and analysis. We do not claim ownership or representation of any third-party brands, properties, or entities featured. No infringement is intended. At Richest Billionaires Homes, we don't just showcase properties, we sell a dream and tell a story. Our mission is to narrate the lifestyle, the vision, and the legacy behind every billionaire's home. We believe in tell, don't just show, because every space deserves a voice, and every detail speaks to a life well lived. The stories we tell here aren't found anywhere else on YouTube or social media. They're crafted by real people to inspire, captivate, and elevate your imagination.